Yes, Control, this is Jerry. We are go for clicks and views on video number 3. It's a go.
So I have to give credit straight off the bat to the Goncalves family and the Canoodle family for how they handled themselves. I'm not fully convinced I could have maintained such composure while talking about something like this if it would have happened to someone in my family. And in my opinion, it is a testament to their character. And I do hope, at the end of the day, they do find legitimate justice. And I can also say I saw the same Instagram account probably during the same time that Kaylee's sister saw it. So we got a lot to discuss, we got a lot to talk about. And if an open conversation is something you prefer, then this is the place for you. Welcome to the point, so let's get after it. So first off, in terms of unbiased news coverage, this 48 Hours story did pretty well. You had experts speaking on both sides of this particular argument. Yes, the DNA on the sheath that they talked about in this particular story, in conjunction with the cell phone pings being circumstantial, do paint a story. It does point a finger, and we all have to agree that the finger has been pointed, and it does point towards Brian Kohlberger with X, Y, and Z. But we also know that this is circumstantial evidence, and there is still not a motive that we know of, and there is still no connection between Brian Kohlberger and the victims. Yes, I know what I said in the intro, and I'm going to get to it. So why would a PhD student who has his whole life ahead of him, who seems to be going on the right track, jump down and take this particular direction in life? Now, you know, Harsh Reality did a video a few days ago with possible theories and reasons and motives and things of that nature. I'm not going to get into that a whole lot. You can go look at his video if you want to see what he said. It was some pretty good stuff. But there has not been a reason that anybody can see for why Brian Kohlberger did it. And I understand Mrs. Goncalves, coming from her point of view, stating the reason he did it is just because he wanted to, isn't necessarily a motive that you can sell in a courtroom, unless you're trying to say that Brian Kohlberger is a budding SK, for an example. You know, we have all these posts online that people have shown talking about the Reddit question on if you committed a crime, come here and take this survey, and all the questions within that Reddit form pertaining to your emotional feelings, what you were going through, why did you pick the targets you picked, things of that nature. But he was a PhD student. And I feel like one of the things 48 Hours said in this particular story is something people aren't quite necessarily understanding. The defense doesn't have to prove his innocence. The defense just has to provide doubt. Now, you can say what you want about, well, they're just going to let him walk and a guilty person is walking. But if you're making that statement, then you're basically saying the entire judicial system is a farce and we should just do away with it all. Everything that the state is saying they have against Brian Kohlberger cannot be 100% a fact at this time because we have trials. These are accusations. And until these accusations are proven in a court, they are not facts yet. And everybody just needs to come to terms with that. The state's accusations are not facts yet. He has the presumption of innocence. And to be honest with you, whether you believe in the Constitution or not, I'm not personally seeing why everybody doesn't say, I don't know. You know, everybody should be saying, I don't know at this point. Because we just don't have all the evidence available. The Goncalves family making the statement that Maddie was the intentional target and everybody else was collateral damage was a bombshell. We haven't heard anybody on one side or the other yet make that statement. And let's get into this Instagram account. Let's talk about it. So yes, what Kaylee's sister said on 48 hours was the exact same thing a lot of people were doing, to include my wife. And when his name was announced, she went to Kaylee's Instagram account, she went to Maddie's Instagram account. She saw Brian Kohlberger's name as somebody who followed both of them. And she went to Brian Kohlberger's Instagram account. It was the same that you saw on TV. He followed both those individuals. He also followed other members of the family. And when she went to various posts on Maddie Mogan's Instagram account, she could see where he had liked several pictures going all the way back. Now, yes, I haven't said anything about that. Number one, because that's not anything I can prove. I didn't screenshot it. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a Twitter or an X or whatever it's called, and I don't have a Facebook. And I said, okay, well, since I can't prove any of this, I'm not going to say anything about it. But here she is getting on 48 hours showing the exact same thing that I saw. And it is coincidental. Now, of course, like they said at 48 hours, and like I'll say right now, I can't prove that was him 100%. And yes, people on the internet are pretty slick. They're pretty quick. And people have been known to conjure up fake accounts and slap them on something else, screenshot it, and say, hey, look, I found this. That is 100% feasible. So as of right now, yes, I saw that. Can I prove it was him? No, I can't. Am I saying it was him? No, I'm not. I am just simply saying I saw what she saw with my own eyes. Take it or leave it. I can hear everybody now. I'm going after clicks. Bet money on it. And I'm fine with it, whatever. Say what you want to say. It's an open forum around here. Feel free to talk. But since none of us, with the information we know we have, can prove any direct link between the victims and Brian Kohlberger, why would this happen? Why is he charged with this? The story was right. If you can't provide a motive, you're going to have a hard time in a court of law giving a viable reason why he committed these acts. Is a motive required? Absolutely it's not. There are people in this world who just do heinous acts for no reason. But once again, you're going to tell me that a PhD student who, other than that one incident some time ago when he had a substance problem, is all of a sudden committing acts like this on individuals around him. You know, really, in terms of mythical theories and possible motives, I know there have been a lot floated out there, and I can't for 100% sure say any of those are wrong. My own personal one, if I had to have a motive said right now, my particular motive and reason in a world where he did this would be Brian Kohlberger wanted to attempt to commit the perfect crime and study it for his thesis to get his doctorate. But that's just my best guess. The story brought up the question about the 3 other male sources of DNA, 2 inside the home, 1 inside the glove, and why that isn't being talked about. And it's a valid point, and for everybody who keeps saying that's something trivial and stupid, that was a former FBI agent who said that, okay? So people who raise this question about the other 3 DNA sources are not just fanboys or fangirls of Brian Kohlberger. Some of us aren't just willing to sit here and take these answers that are being spoon-fed down our throats when we don't like the taste of it. It should be okay in this country to ask questions. I am at this time agreeing with Kaylee's father as far as the possible substance involvement in this particular crime. Yes, I know college towns have a lot of that going on. There's really not a whole lot of industry around a lot of these college towns. Usually it's the college that brings in the most money, and it's the students that work at these shops and at these stores, and everybody else is just making income however they can. But from what we can tell, after everybody has interviewed family, we've heard friends speak, there is nothing to indicate that these 4 kids had a substance abuse problem. Have they done something? Who knows? I can't say one way or the other, but to say they were tied in deep to a particular area of life that it doesn't appear they seem to walk, I'm still inclined to not believe that. So, okay, these fathers saying it was a Hollywood fantasy, I'm siding towards him in that particular statement. Really, that's all I got. I don't want to hold up your time. Overall, like I said, I enjoyed the 48-hour story. I thought it was well put together and well presented. The families did an amazing job, and the experts they brought on answered the questions pretty clearly and pretty plainly. Now, I'm more curious about your thoughts. What did you think or see during that 48-hour story that caught your attention? I'm getting a lot of good comments and a lot of good feedback, and people are raising a lot of good points. So, as always, I'm more interested to hear what you have to say rather than CBS. Other than that, I appreciate your time, I appreciate you being here, and I'll catch you in the next one.